Hello class 6. In physics, today our next topic is shadow. Now shadow is formed mainly because light travels in a straight line. I will explain this later on, but keep in mind, if light did not travel in a straight line, then shadow would not have been formed. Alright? Also, shadows are formed when an opaque object. What's an opaque object? This is an opaque object because when light will come and hit, if light comes and hits this object, it cannot penetrate the object and go on from the other side. No? It stops the path of light. So any object through which light cannot pass is called an opaque object. Alright? This box is also an opaque object. Okay? If light comes, hits this object, it cannot penetrate this object and come out from the other side. So this object stops the path of light, stops the movement of light. So any object through which light cannot pass is an opaque object. So if an opaque object is placed in the path of light, then suppose if the light is coming from here is the opaque object, then the shadow of this object will fall on the opposite side on a particular screen. The screen can be anything, it can be ground, it can be a wall, alright. So shadows are formed when an opaque object falls in the path of light. And how does a shadow look? Dark, isn't it? So that's why shadows are said to be region of absence of light. Absence means it is not present. Light is not present in shadow. Okay, light is obstructed, and because of the obstruction, the dark patch is formed of that particular object. That dark patch is the absence of light. That region is called shadow. Now, for shadows to be formed, that those things which are needed for the formation of shadow, I have written down here. Three things are there. You can pause this video and note this one down. This one is the definition of shadow. If I ask what is shadow, you have to write this. And if I ask what are the things that are required to make shadow possible, then these are the things. What are the things? First one, there has to be light. Light has to come and fall on an opaque object. So the second thing is an opaque object. Okay, first thing is source of light. Second thing is an object we need on which light falls. And the third thing is a screen on which the shadow is formed. If there is no screen, then you will not see any shadow. Like birds. They fly in the sky, the sun is there, the source of light, bird is the object, but where is the shadow? Hardly we see any shadow of the birds flying in the sky, no? So, a screen is needed, and that screen has to be somewhere near the object. Okay? Like birds flying higher in the sky, we cannot think of the shadow of the bird to be falling on the earth. If it is falling also, we don't see it at all. So, a screen has to be there somewhere near the object on the opposite side of the source of light. Then the shadow will be seen. So these are the three things for a shadow to be formed. Okay, now we will consider two instances. In the first instance, shadow, what kind of shadow is formed? Due to a point source of light. Now what's a point source of light? To explain that, let us see here. Now this is representing a bulb. Okay, you can say a 100-watt bulb. From where the light goes in all directions. So I have drawn over here rays indicating that light goes in all directions. So one such ray, when it falls on this particular cardboard piece, this is a cardboard piece in which a small hole is drilled. So when light passes through this and comes out from the other side, that light which passes from that small hole is called as a point source of light. A hole is like a point, a small dot. So that from that hole or from that point, if any light comes out, that light is called point source of light. Okay, a light coming out from a small point is called as a point source of light. And this is how you can create a point source of light. Place a bulb, and on the other side of the bulb, place a cardboard piece where a small hole is there. And when light comes out from the other end, from that hole, from that small point, then that light is called point source of light. Alright. Now the shadow. Here is an opaque object, a metal ball. What kind of shadow you will get is this. So this is basically an example of how shadow is formed. For shadow we need a source of light, an opaque object, and we need a screen where the shadow is formed. So for a point source of light, you will get one shadow, one sharp shadow. Sharp means easily visible. Okay, it's not blur. Some shadows are blur. We will explain that in the next case. So this particular shadow that is on the screen, this shadow is a sharp shadow. So a point source of light, here is the object. The size of the object is bigger than the source of light. Okay, when object is bigger than the source of light, point source of light, then like this kind of shadow is observed. Remember, when object is big, source of light is smaller, then what kind of shadow you get? You get a sharp shadow. Okay, now this is the second case. Okay, this is the second case. In this one, the source of light is bigger than a point source of light. A source of light which is bigger than a point source of light is called extended source of light. So, what kind of a shadow formed due to extended source of light? Now we will discuss. In the previous case, we saw point source of light and one dark sharp shadow we saw. But now we will see two kinds of shadow. Okay. So here from this particular light, this is source of light. It is again that same bulb that I was telling. I have drawn 2 points. This is one point from the bulb and this is another point. There are other points also which emit light, but I have taken only 2 points. From these 2 points, one ray of light. By the way, this is the object, the metal ball. One ray of light goes from the top of the object towards the screen. One ray of light goes from the bottom of the object towards the screen. So from this point, 2 rays I have drawn. One ray from the top portion to the top of the object. One ray from here top to the bottom of the object going towards the screen. Same thing again from the bottom point. One ray going from the top of the object and one ray going from the bottom to bottom of the object. Alright, remember the sequence from top to top, from top to bottom, from bottom to top of the object, from bottom to bottom of the object. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rays. Now the shadow. We have 2 patches, one in the center which is darker than the another surrounding this dark region. The darker patch in the center is called the umbra and the surrounding less dark patch of shadow is called the penumbra. So this is the case when the source of light is bigger than the point source of light. Okay? And as the source of light becomes bigger and bigger, if it goes and becomes bigger than the object, then this umbra shadow becomes smaller and smaller. Alright, keep that in mind. As the source of light becomes bigger and bigger than the object, the umbra shadow also will start to reduce in size. And the penumbra shadow will increase in size. Okay, in short, again I can show you. This is the bulb, here is the object. Here is the screen. One ray from top to top of the object. One ray from top to bottom of the object. One ray from bottom to top of the object. And again one ray from bottom to bottom of the object. So here it is. Arrows are necessary. Okay, it tells from which direction to which direction the light is traveling. So here, the center part is the umbra shadow region and the surrounding part is the penumbra shadow region. Alright, so this is how this ray diagram is constructed to show formation of shadow due to extended